Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Namaste. Hello. Welcome from wherever in the world you're joining us today for another very, very special day of Design Science Studios Regeneration Rising. Today, our theme is regeneration and celebration. So, on behalf of the entire Design Science Studio family, I invite you in joining us to continue fostering this rebounding all around our spaceship that we are seeing. And we believe, last few days we have been dancing, celebrating, singing, sharing art, music in so many, many avatars. We all truly believe that latency of regenerative actions will catch up despite so many challenges that our planet continues to face in terms of the climate crisis, in terms of public health crisis, in terms of so many shapes and form of reckonings that we are living through. We believe that a wave of healing, cooling, would ground us despite so many challenges of our time. And we believe that together, by thoughtfully weaving together, witnessing each other, that we have the power to regenerate ourselves and our communities and our planet. So we all invite you, and I am in this beautiful position to be the messenger of this invitation to join us in joining life, in re-emerging, and in doing this dance of regeneration rising. So with that, I welcome you and I invite you, take a deep breath. Acknowledge your feet, acknowledge the ground that holds you, acknowledge the earth that nourishes you. And we would like to start today with a poem. I want to share this poem on this day, which is about regeneration and celebration, because I wrote it during the heart of the COVID-19 pandemic, while I was myself beholding both so much grief and also such a keen sense of aliveness and contemplating, even when our world is on fire, what can we do, what we must do to regenerate, and why our private, collective, and planetary healing is deeply, deeply tied together, friends. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for receiving this poem that is coming your way now with lots of love. It's called Let Us Waste Not, a call to humanity in the time of COVID-19. And I share this, I also want to say, hopefully we will continue to be on a good path, but truth is, I want to acknowledge, because I'm an immigrant, and there are COVID-19 cases which are still rising in many parts of the world, including my home, in one of my homes in Delhi. So yeah, as you receive this, I also invite you to continue to center healing and well-being of all people all around the world. So with that, let us waste not, a call to humanity in the time of COVID-19. A pandemic would be a terrible thing to waste. A pandemic would be a terrible thing to waste. I wish this passes very, very soon. I wish this passes very, very soon. And may we not forget this for a very, very long time. For now, let us still our minds, deepen our breaths, behold our beloveds, pray our prayers, give our gratitude, be our being. For if the world was ending today, for if the world was ending today, what is it that you and I must do? For while a pandemic is a clock on growth hormones, a near-death experience, our time has always been limited in a timeless universe of stars. At least in this form, in this lifetime. What do the human walls, the othering, the counting heads of people as aliens, the mad quest to dominate the sacred, the nuclear stockpiles, the macho might of all the armies in all the world, what does all of this mean in the face of a half-living, half-non-living microorganism who paused it all, reminding them, you, we, us, me, are all in need of safety, mercy, luck, love, community in this inescapable web of interdependence between humans and nature, to which we belong and depend on in equal measure. Someone asked on the gram of Insta, what if we human beings are the virus to this earth and Corona is the vaccine? What a terrifying idea. Someone objected on the book of faces. We too are of this earth. Do not separate us, nor, despite its beauty, rejoice at birth songs over graves, tears of loss and fear. Someone zoomed a powerful reminder from a graffiti wall in Asia. We cannot return to normal because the normal we had was precisely the problem that brought us here. Think about that. Inhale. Someone, please light an incense for us all. Someone, please unhide your hidden song. Someone, please not live anymore in a way that makes you fully alive. Someone, please bake your glorious fruitcake for your own soul's sake. Rilke said, let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Can we bow in humility to this terror and this beauty? Can we reset? Can we re-be? Can we renew? For a pandemic would be a terrible thing to waste. I wish this passes very, very soon. And may we not forget this for a very, very long time. May we heal ourselves, our species, and our Mother Earth. Exhale. With that prayer, song, meditation, welcome everyone to this day of Regeneration Rising, Regeneration and Celebration. May we not forget, may we celebrate, and even as we celebrate, may we have the ability to behold our grief for what has been lost. And may we behold deep care and concern, not just for our immediate neighbor, our backyard, but the whole planet where people are living the real consequences of our choices. So welcome, and with that, I invite Faith into our circle and each of you in our circle.
Beautiful, Neha. These are such empowering and powerful messages. It's really, really true. We need to invite grace and power and terror into our lives and embrace it all. It's really a time to reckon. It's a time to recognize and to celebrate all of it, because we're facing all of it today, and come together as we have done over the last week and over the last 8 days. It's been 8 days of coming together. So that's been beautiful and powerful and emotional, and so many different feelings have come up, and so many different beautiful ways of sharing have come through. So I want to say thank you to you for holding space and for opening each of these sessions with the power of poetry. And I just want to, just say you have so much grace, and I really honor you. And I loved what you said before, in terms of we all have the power to take control of our own lives, just as Buckminster Fuller said, if success or failure of this planet and human beings depended on how I am and what I do, how would I be and what would I do? And I think those questions are really, really timely and important today. And with that, thank you. With that, I would love to introduce some of the other work that the Buckminster Fuller is doing with Regenerosity. We are building and have been building for the last 2 years a program called Regenerosity, which is grew from the experience of the Buckminster Fuller Challenge, the Lush Spring Prize, and our partners at the UNDP Equator Prize. And we work to fund grassroots organizations to develop prize-winning initiatives, both in social and ecological regeneration. Our core team of 9 bring over 15 years of experience to develop relationships and support and fund more than, right now we're funding 11 organizations, but we have an ecosystem of over 400 organizations across the globe. And we pioneer these contributions to the regenerative movement. Regenerosity works with our core team to, I think if somebody wants to mute themselves, I'm hearing some background noise. Thank you. So our core team at Regenerosity brings a decentralized and collaborative way of being, where each of the team members brings their own knowledge and expertise to these conversations in a shared decision-making process where we each are part of the whole co-design process with each of these projects that we're working with. We'll tell you more in a minute. We're going to share a video, but just to say that we are working to enable a diverse and nodal strategy that take into consideration different backgrounds, cultural aspects, and geographic locations. And we have some of our team here today. I wonder if you can pop in really quick, Sanjana, and just say hi. Trying to find you. Do you want to come on screen for a second? Oh.
Hey, hi everyone. Nice to see you all over here. We are really excited to co-create it together. Looking forward to learning from you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sanjana. Sanjana is calling in from India, so it's quite late there. And you also heard yesterday from some of our core partners at Taiwan Bharat Sang. You'll hear from some of our other partners today at Perma Youth. Roxy, with that, do you want to play the video? Of course. Beautiful, thank you. Welcome, everyone. We're excited to talk to you about Regenerosity, which is an initiative of the Buckminster Fuller Institute, Lush Spring Prize, and the UNDP Equator Prize. And together we have birthed Regenerosity in order to build capacity for projects. We have over 15 years of due diligence experience and over 430 projects that we've worked with, and have invested over $20 million in vetting and funding these projects. And we work to identify, resource, celebrate, and learn from nature-inspired regenerative projects that have the potential to be a hub. Our mission is to accelerate the transition to a regenerative world by flowing resources, enabling learning, sharing stories. And this is all in partnership with our funders and grassroots initiatives that have the exponential impact on climate, food sovereignty, water security, and livelihoods. The program sprang out of the question of how might we shift trillions of dollars from the current broken system to the next paradigm, working to decolonize philanthropy and development, and moving away from the entropic, competitive, degenerative, and overly simplistic way of being towards a syntropic, cooperative, regenerative, living systems understanding of regeneration. Our goal is to capitalize and catalyze over $10 billion over the next 10 years by 2030. And that's through movement building in a way that works to decolonize wealth. And we do this through developing partnerships with you all and with funders and with project partners.
So part of our theory of change is about working across different scales. So our theory of change is based on this idea of nested wholes. Just like in ecosystems, ecosystems are not separate from one another. They're always part of something bigger with smaller ecosystems inside and part of bigger ripples of nested wholes. So our theory of change is based on place-based impact, which is how and where we co-design these catalytic programs with our grassroots partners and organizations based on long-term relationships of trust. And our aim is to flow capitals to these fantastic projects, our partners, to grow their great impact. And to do this, we have a re-granting program where we give catalytic funds to projects in East Africa, India, and the Amazon. So we co-design what these grants look like with our project partners based on a participatory methodology. It's called the Regenerative Capacity Development Framework, the RCD framework, we call it. And this is based on dialogue and based on deep listening. And we have a participatory learning and monitoring and evaluation approach. And this process, it's actually based around storytelling. So how can we tell the story of our partners and build a story of regeneration? We work very, very deeply with our partners to help develop these stories through spaces like peer-to-peer learning circles and through network collaboration. And we bring people together through regional communities. So I mentioned in East Africa, in India, and the Amazon, and looking in future to grow this network as well. So our projects learn from one another through peer-to-peer knowledge sharing, through storytelling, through strategic development together. And we meet our partners on a monthly basis to share stories. And then when we look at this wide scale of movement building, what we're hoping to do is to spotlight the evidence and the grassroots-led stories that will help to spur off the bigger movement of regeneration more broadly. We see this impacting projects in their communities, hopefully in a very systemic level, in a systemic way, from national to global, from regional and more widely. So one example of cascading benefits, so what we hope to do is to create benefits that ripple across the world and ripple across the places where people work. And you can see here an example of how this could look, how just by investing in empowering refugees, this can increase income, which could increase health, which could increase the access to more nutrient-dense food, which could increase the training and access to training for regenerative agriculture, which in itself could help to draw down carbon, to increase the health in the soil, to increase climate resilience, to increase the retention of water in the soil and biodiversity. So just by these catalytic partnerships, we can create massive rippling impacts. And we've seen this with our partners across the place-based, across the network, and also across the movement. Just by these activities that you see here, for example, funding a fantastic group of agroecological or regenerative agriculture projects, by partnering with them, we've seen an increase in nutrition and an increase in health, in livelihoods, in ecosystem health, and a connection to over 11,000 people. So how can we create these massive impacts that reach many people while also building ecological health?
Yeah, so about Regenericity's work, we work in East Africa, India, and Amazon. We have projects that focuses on whole system permaculture, seed sovereignty, conservation and restoration, climate change, water restoration. We work with communities to create change at a larger level, in an impactful level, where we enable communities to participate and sustain it for a longer time through our project partners. Leaders we support are women and girls, indigenous community. We focus a lot on partners working with indigenous community, youth, refugees, people with disabilities, smallholder farmers. And nutrition and health, livelihood, climate stability, ecological resilience are the cascading benefits and effects of the programs we work on a ground level with our partners.
Yeah, we have projects in East Africa that are focusing on improving livelihoods for the communities. Say Uganda is a program that is working in refugee camps, that is empowering refugees through trainings to regenerative agriculture and livelihoods. We also have Gardens for Health International, Rwanda, which is a project that is focusing on antenatal mothers or couples that are focusing to bring a healthy child into this world. And they have starter kits that they give to these young families, kits that include chickens for rearing, includes piglets, and also seeds for planting. It's a very wonderful project that is focusing on nutrition and empowering the community to grow healthy foods. Kafred Uganda is a project that is actually near a national park, and that is improving livelihoods through transitioning farmers to regenerative agriculture and networking with coffee farmers to bring more to their land than just one crop, which is coffee. So it is really, these projects are really improving livelihoods on the local front, and they are empowering communities to have more than just one crop. Rwamwanja is a project also working in refugee camps in Uganda, and they are also transitioning farmers through permaculture and through music and song that embrace regenerative agriculture and permaculture. Kajulu Hills is a project in Kenya that actually is transitioning farmers in the hills of Kajulu in Kisumu area, that is transitioning farmers to regenerative agriculture and permaculture. These are projects that have really empowered local communities and schools to embrace agriculture in a more resilient way. And next.
So talking about projects we have in India, we have Navdanya International. Navdanya, as most of us know, promotes regenerative agriculture, traditional learnings, and indigenous seeds. So we work with Navdanya in the ranges of Maharashtra, in the belt where their farmer suicide rate is very high. And the goal is to enable distributors of indigenous seeds and 25+ regenerative farmers. Where do we, with the help of the partner Navdanya, they are building the capacity of the farmers on ground and making them leaders of their own capacity, and their training manuals and videos is one of the trainer-led module is something, and spreading the practices is something we focus on with this partner. Forever like focuses on soil regeneration and create food forest demonstration sites within the neighboring villages in the areas they work. Also establishing biodiversity through intensive planting. With the help of while supporting Taran Bhagat Sangh, it's mostly the project is in the Rajasthan, where they promote water management, ecological restoration, agricultural capacity, where with the help of technology, they are training farmers in water conservation, implementing rainwater harvesting and efficient models of irrigation, so that their livelihood can be improved and cultivation and yields can be increased. Timbuktu Collective, ecological village, we focus mostly focusing on regeneration, also creating one of the most important element they bring into the table, this partner Timbuktu Collective, is how do they most of the trainers are the youth who take the practices of establishing biodiversity in the whole community.
In the Amazon, we have two amazing projects, one that we partner with IACOM from Ecuador and the other one from Instituto Piagaso in Brazil. Both of them are working with agroecology, agroforestry, and also to reforestate the Amazon forest with native trees from each of the regions. And they, both of them have like entrepreneurial aspect. So the idea here is that they also achieve a new kind of livelihoods that can take people out of illegal mining, illegal lodging, and illegal kettling, so that they don't destroy the region that they are located. By using this project, what we are doing is generating a new income for these families, because they will work with new kind of native species other than the ones that are already being planted as monoculture, and they're transitioning to permaculture so they can plant more native trees and not only become like supplier for raw mats, but also to create their own fresh handmade products fresh from the Amazon. And they are currently looking for further funding so that they can amplify their projects to design ecosystem carbon credits that goes specifically to all at the Amazon that could be replicated to other projects as well, and also to grow their entrepreneurial aspect for women-led companies that would be producing, you know, cosmetic, food, and beverage from the Amazon.
So our goal is, over the next 2 years, to resource over 40 critical projects to improve health and livelihoods for tens of thousands of farmers, to improve their livelihoods and protect critical ecosystems while sequestering carbon. And that's on behalf of all of the projects that we're working with. And we're working to amplify the research, education, and the stories of these farmers that we're working with, and increase understanding within the movement, and share impactful stories from the field and from the ground. And so that will work to change paradigms of how we are in service to life, and how we build together and grow the movement. So as we said before, our current focus is in East Africa, India, and the Amazon. We have beautiful funding partners that we currently work with, but would love to learn more about you and work with you. So if you're interested in working with us, Anna can share how to get in touch.
And we would love you all to be in touch with us. So please visit our website, regenerosity.world, where you can find a lot of stories. We have a blog there that we share the stories from our projects. You can also fill out the forms so we can get to know a little bit more about you, and then you can just stay in touch with us and also engage with us within our LinkedIn account in LinkedIn/company/Regenerosity. So you can learn more about what we are doing, share our posts, and just engage with us and let us know a little bit more about you and how you're seeing the regeneration of the world as well.
So here is part of our team from Regenerosity. We'd love to for you to get in touch with us, or for us to have conversations with you. We host monthly partner events, and would love for you to join us for one of those, or for one of the webinars that we host. I have just put in the chat our webinar page for YouTube, and please do continue to stay in touch. And we're really excited to talk more about Regenerosity. Thank you. Thank you all for watching. If you do want to keep, or if you do want to stay in touch, please reach out to me via faith.flanagan@regenerosity.world. We have incredible partners that we're working with. So if you'd like to know more, we're also building towards funding 40 more projects this year and next year. And the projects that we do fund, some of them have been on and a part of Regenera, and their stories are incredible. I mean, it's really, really incredible work that they're doing in the world. I can't say enough about the work that they're doing. Just seeing it on a monthly basis is just, it really shows you the impact of what Regeneration